couldn't buy what he had to sell then. I'm not buying it now.
Funny thing, I want him in.
If I leave here, that boy goes with me.
Joey? Why do you want him?
Maybe for the good of his soul. It's been a long time since you heard.
Universal Studios, iconic westerns. Following my video on Warner Brothers Studios westerns, let's now take a look at Universal Studios westerns today. An American media and entertainment conglomerate, one of two namesake flagship subsidiaries of Comcast's NBCUniversal alongside the national broadcasting company NBC, the oldest of the United States' Big Three television networks. Founded in 1924 as Music Corporation of America by Jules C. Stein and William R. Goodheart Jr., became a major force in the film industry, later expanding into television production. These westerns are just a taste of the many Universal produced. Let me know what others you liked in the comments. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Let's get into it. Bend in the River, 1952. A western directed by Anthony Mann and starring James Stewart, Arthur Kennedy, Julie Adams and Rock Hudson. Based on the 1950 novel Bend of the Snake by Bill Gulick. The film is about a tough cowboy who risks his life to deliver confiscated supplies to homesteaders after gold is discovered in the region. Bend of the River was filmed on location in and around the Sandy River, Mount Hood, the Columbia River, and Timberline, Oregon. This is the second Western film collaboration between Anthony Mann and James Stewart.
You'll be seeing.
Cowboys and Aliens, 2011. A science fiction western action thriller directed by Jon Favreau and starring Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, Olivia Wilde, Sam Rockwell, Adam Beach, Paul Dano, and Noah Ringer, based on the 2006 Platinum Studios graphic novel of the same name, created by Scott Mitchell Rosenberg, set in the Southwest United States in a retro-futuristic version of the 1870s. The film is about an amnesiac outlaw man, Craig, a wealthy, powerful cattleman, Ford, and a mysterious traveler, Wilde, who must ally to save a group of townspeople who have been abducted by aliens.
We gotta get our people out!
We have one advantage. They underestimate you.
Should we step in? Looks like he's doing fine.
Estri Rides Again, 1939. A western comedy directed by George Marshall, starring Marlene Dietrich and James Stewart. The supporting cast includes Misha Orr, Charles Wenninger, Brian Donlevy, Alan Jenkins, Irene Hervey, Billy Gilbert, Bill Cody Jr., Lillian Yabo, and Una Merkel. The opening credits list the story as suggested by Max Brand's novel, Estri Rides Again, but the movie is almost completely different. It also bears no resemblance to the 1932 adaptation of the novel starring Tom Mix, which is often retitled as Justice Rides Again. The Duel at Silver Creek, 1952. A western directed by Don Siegel, his first film in the western genre, starred Stephen McNally, Audie Murphy, and Faith Domergue. It was the first time Murphy had appeared in a film where he played a character who was good throughout the movie. The working titles of the film, Claim Jumpers and Hair Trigger Kid.
I got a load of buckshot waiting for you, Johnny.
How dare you come into my bedroom? You ought to be horsewhipped. I came out and found him here.
Didn't say anything to anyone about your crippled hand.
You're a liar. Johnny sent Tin on around to say he's waiting for me.
Don't!
Far Country, 1954, a western directed by Anthony Mann, starring James Stewart, Ruth Roman, Walter Brennan, John McIntyre, and Corinne Calvert. Written by Border Chase. The film is about a self-minded adventurer who locks horns with an evil, corrupt judge while driving cattle to Dawson, Yukon Territory, one of the few westerns to be set in Alaska. Others include The Spoilers, 1955, and North to Alaska, 1960, although it was not filmed there. This was the fourth western film collaboration between Anthony Mann and James Stewart. The supporting cast features J. C. Flippen, Harry Morgan, Steve Brody, Robert J. Wilk, Chubby Johnson, Royal Dano, and Jack Elam.
For a man getting himself killed if he doesn't have to. Now, why don't you go back to the nice people before you get hurt?
High Plains Drifter, 1973, a western directed by Clint Eastwood. The film stars Eastwood as a mysterious stranger who metes out justice in a corrupt frontier mining town. The film was influenced by the work of Eastwood's two major collaborators, film directors Sergio Leone and Don Siegel. In addition to Eastwood, the film also co-stars Verna Bloom, Mariana Hill, Mitchell Ryan, Jack Ging, and Stefan Garash.
I'm the sheriff.
And the mayor.
The mayor.
They didn't know him when he drifted into town. Now they'll...
Who are you?
Joe Kidd, 1972, a revisionist western starring Clint Eastwood and Robert Duvall, written by Elmore Leonard and directed by John Sturgis, about an ex-bounty hunter hired by a wealthy landowner named Frank Harlan to track down Mexican revolutionary leader Louis Chama, who is fighting for land reform. It forms part of the revisionist western genre.
You want Louis Chama? I told you the deal, $500, and I don't care who pulls the trigger on it.
The price will be $1,000. I want him alive. When Mr. Harlan doesn't want me around anymore, you let me know, huh, boy?
Kid, you're fired. Take his gun, Mingo.
These people are looking for trouble. Harlan, Lamar, Mingo. And the trouble they're looking for is Joe Kidd.
People!
Straight up or draped over the saddle, either one.
Lonely Are the Brave, 1962, a black and white western adaptation of the Edward Abbey novel The Brave Cowboy, directed by David Miller, from a screenplay by Dalton Trumbo, and starring Kirk Douglas, Gina Rowlands, and Walter Matthau. Kirk Douglas plays cowboy Jack Burns, Gina Rowlands portrays his best friend's wife, and Walter Matthau appears as a sheriff who sympathizes with Burns, but must do his job and chase him down. The picture also features an early score by composer Jerry Goldsmith. Douglas repeatedly said that this was his favorite film of his own work.
We got him. He's right below us. I'll climb down and get him. He stood alone, towering over all who would hunt him down.
Night Passage, 1957, a western directed by James Nielsen and starring James Stewart and Audie Murphy. The film was the first American production to utilize the Technorama process in Technicolor. This process helps make the blue skies crisper and brighten the autumn footage photographed by cinematographer William H. Daniels.
I was boss, we wouldn't do it.
You ain't boss!
Is this what you wanted to tell me?
Go on, move! Told in the story of two brothers moving toward a deadly rendezvous deep in the mighty gorges of the Great Divide.
So you don't want him in, huh?
No. I didn't buy what he had to sell then. I'm not buying it now.
Funny thing, I want him in.
If I leave here, that boy goes with me.
Joey? Why do you want him?
Maybe for the good of his soul. It's been a long time since you heard that word, hasn't it?
You'll get that money even if you have to kill your own brother.
The Plainsman, 1936, a western directed by Cecil B. DeMille, starring Gary Cooper and Jean Arthur. The film presents a highly fictionalized account of the adventures and relationships between Wild Bill Hickok, Calamity Jane, Buffalo Bill Cody, and General George Custer, with a gunrunner named Latimer, Charles Bickford, as the main villain. The film is notorious for mixing timelines and even has an opening scene with Abraham Lincoln, setting the stage for Hickok's adventures. Anthony Quinn has an early acting role as an Indian. A remake using the same title was released in 1966.
Dead men can walk. The choice is his, ma'am.
Oh, Will, I was afraid of this. You can't leave me. You can't.
You've never seen the Indian tribes at war, ma'am. You've never seen men killed and mutilated and bodies of women burned and babies dragged from their mother's arms and dashed against their...
That's enough, Bill.
The Rare Breed, 1966, a western directed by Andrew V. McLaughlin, starring James Stewart, Maureen O'Hara, and Brian Keith in Panavision. Loosely based on the life of rancher Colonel John William Burgess. The film follows Martha Evans's O'Hara quest to fulfill her deceased husband's dream of introducing Hereford cattle to the American West. The film was one of the early major productions to be scored by John Williams, who was billed as Johnny Williams in the opening credits.
Said, take your hand off her and you get out of here.
Juliet Mills as Hillary, young, beautiful.
Street and we'll all go to jail.
The thieves have fallen out.
Come on, baby. You're just gonna stir things up here.
You bet I am.
This is the West as the screen has never shown it before. Scaled to heroic size and the human heart.
A man is dead. All because of your dishonesty.
Well, that's one way to see it, ma'am.
Rooster Cogburn, 1975, a western directed by Stuart Miller, starring John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn, based on the Rooster Cogburn character from Charles Portis's 1968 western novel True Grit, a sequel to True Grit 1969, the second installment overall in the film series of the same name. The plot details the continuing adventures of Reuben J. Rooster Cogburn, an aging one-eyed lawman, whose badge is suspended due to his record of routine arrests that end in bloodshed. He is offered a chance to redeem himself by bringing a group of bank robbers who have hijacked a wagon shipment of nitroglycerin, and finds himself aided in his quest by a spinster whose father was killed by the criminals.
Ain't that the way it works, Hawk? We're loaning the raft off you.
That ain't loaning, that's stealing, and you can't have...
Am I gonna have trouble with you?
Nah, the teeny-weeny bit of trouble as long as you got that.
Being around you pleases me.
You will be careful, won't you, Reuben? I care about you very much.
Shenandoah, 1965, a film set during the American Civil War, starring James Stewart and featuring Doug McClure, Glenn Corbett, Patrick Wayne, and in their film debuts, Catherine Ross and Rosemary Forsyth. The picture was directed by Andrew V. McLaughlin. The American folk song Ocean and Doa features prominently in the film's soundtrack. The film's strong anti-war and humanitarian themes resonated with the audiences in later years as attitudes began to change against the Vietnam War. Upon its release, the film was praised for its themes as well as its technical production.
Chair. You the leader of this band of fools?
Well, I love her, Mr. Anderson. Do you like her? Well, I just said I did.
No, you said you loved her. There's some difference between loving and liking.
Or of To Kill a Mockingbird.
I'm no soldier.
Get this stuff off of the track. Drop the rifles right now.
First, I'm gonna empty your train, and then I'm gonna burn it.
Burn the train!
Two Mules for Sister Sarah, 1970, an American-Mexican Western, directed by Don Siegel, starring Shirley MacLaine and Clint Eastwood, set during the French intervention in Mexico, 1861 to 1867. The plot follows an American mercenary who gets mixed up with a nun and aids a group of rebels during the puppet reign of Emperor Maximilian in Mexico. Ennio Morricone composed the film's music.
The least you can do is take off your hat.
I haven't got time for that.
A movie that's crazy one moment. The most amazing, ruthless, mercenary. Clint is a one-man suicide squad.
The War Wagon, 1967, a Western heist film, directed by Burt Kennedy, starring John Wayne and Kirk Douglas, released by Universal Pictures, produced by Marvin Schwartz, and adapted by Claire Huffaker from his own novel. The supporting cast includes Howard Keel, Robert Walker Jr., Keenan Wynn, Bruce Cabot, Joanna Barnes, Valora Noland, Bruce Dern, and Gene Evans. The film received generally positive reviews.
Mine hit the ground first.
Mine was taller.
Stud.
And good old Bruce Cabot.
I want Tor Jackson dead.
Keep your eyes off of my wife.
Your wife? Oh, I thought she was your daughter.
Well, she ain't.
A drunk kid and a crazy old man. How the hell did
Cut it out, all of you. I didn't bring you here to be the best of friends. We're an inch away from gunning each other down, but first we have to take the War Wagon. Now that's what this picture is all about. How a handful of men can work up the guts and ingenuity to tackle a fortress on wheels.
Look at those horses, what are they dragging? Heavily guarded, what is that?
Winchester 73, 1950, a Western film noir directed by Anthony Mann, starring James Stewart, Shelley Winters, Dan Duryea, and Stephen McNally. Set in 1876 in a variety of famed Western locations, and follows the journey of a prized rifle from one ill-fated owner to another, as well as a cowboy's search for a murderous fugitive. It is the first Western film collaboration between Mann and Stewart, the first of 8 films that were made together, filmed in black and white. It is also the first film from which an actor received a percentage of the receipts, a practice known as points, as compensation.
To get the gun, wanted the rifle to slaughter men.
Sound like an Indian trader, but with all that smoke in the hills and you with no gun.
Why don't you shh?
The man's right. Give him a gun.
Supposing I don't tell you. Then what?
Where is he? Where is he?
Just in case you...
I know how to use it. I understand about the last one.
Ulzana's Raid, 1972, a revisionist western starring Burt Lancaster, Richard Jekyll, Bruce Davison, and Joaquin Martinez. Directed by Robert Aldrich, based on a script by Alan Sharp, it portrays a brutal raid by Chiricahua Apaches against European settlers in 1880s Arizona. The bleak and nihilistic tone of US troops chasing an elusive, merciless enemy has been seen as allegory to the United States' participation in the Vietnam War.
Damn it, Lieutenant. You're not making any sense.
Now look, Mr. McIntosh, that used to be a white man. Like yourself, a white man.
Cut her loose. She's not dead. Why do you suppose they spared Mrs. Reardon?
Maybe they thought she was dead. Susanna, leave woman for you to find.
Lad, if they come back, promise me you won't let them take me. Promise me.
What do you think Ozana's intentions are?
Their probable intention is to burn, maim, torture, and murder.
Where will he fight us?
You don't mean to fight you no place, Lieutenant. He only means to kill you.
The Spoilers, 1942. A western directed by Ray Enright, starring Marlene Dietrich, Randolph Scott, and John Wayne. Marlene Dietrich, Randolph Scott, and John Wayne also appeared together that same year in a movie called Pittsburgh. Scott was billed above Wayne in both movies, even though Wayne's role was larger and more important in each, because he was under contract to Universal, whereas Wayne was borrowed from Republic. Dietrich and Wayne had also made the earlier film Seven Sinners together in 1940.
Listen, you can leave those sourdoughs around like children while you shake them down for their pokes, but I happen to be a man that gets what he wants. From now on, it's you and me.
Death of a Gunfighter, 1969. A western directed by Robert Totten and Don Siegel, starring Richard Widmark and Lena Horne. The theme of the film is the passing of the West, the clash between a traditional character and the politics and demands of modern society. The film direction is credited to Alan Smithy, a pseudonym that has subsequently been used by directors who do not wish to be credited for their film.
What they believe.
I'm asking you to resign before they kill you.
Get the hell out of here, Lou.
Thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Take a look at my channel and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I appreciate likes, shares, and subscribers. Hit the notification bell to get my new videos. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.